Our exes are literally disgusting. So you know what we're gonna do?
We're gonna talk about it. So,
Um,
so we were both like in very toxic relationships
for a very long time, too.
I feel like no. Why was it like back to back?
What do you mean?
It was like back to back. Like
It
you
was
first.
overlapped. It
Yes,
overlapped.
yeah. Like how long did yours last?
2 years.
Same girl. Weird, very weird.
We just couldn't. There's something about us where we just couldn't leave it. I don't know why.
And yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about today because
Yeah.
it's a fun story. I actually already talked about it today with my boss because I was just like not doing very well, and sometimes when I'm talking crap about someone, it helps me. But like not talking crap about someone like and they don't deserve it, like talking about my ex because he deserves it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like this is a very well-deserved video, and if people see it and think that we're mean or bad people, or that this is unnecessary, or that we shouldn't talk bad about people on the internet, this is very well-deserved.
Yes, and everyone should know how much of a
And if
these
literally
people are.
anybody knows us, I think you might know, like, this is like not a bad thing for us to do.
And also we did post a TikTok like during summertime of like things our exes did and we still stayed, and I remember
it was some crazy stuff.
Yeah. My ex's sister commented on it and said interesting.
Oh,
and so I blocked her.
I remember that.
So yeah, for this, I'm gonna call my ex Voldemort because that's just what we call him. What are you gonna call your ex?
Give me 5 seconds. I have to look up a synonym for something.
Okay. And also, guys, if you see my red face, the freaking dog jumped up on my face and scratched me. So, fun times. Voldemort is so good. I feel like.
Yeah, that is because he's freaking ugly and stupid and annoying.
Dude, did I tell you that my cousin saw him at Walmart in like all black and neon green shoes? I know, like what? Who wears that? Especially at his big age.
Yeah, no, literally. Wait, okay.
Oh my gosh. I
have to think of a
That's
character.
also.
I'm gonna call him Plankton.
Okay. Oh my gosh, stop. That fits so well too.
Yeah.
Okay.
A thief in the
freak,
night.
I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, guys, I think my ex groomed me.
He did.
No, I'm not even kidding, guys. I was 17 talking to him. He was 23, and as soon as I turned 18, he started flirting with. Well, he was kind of He was flirting with me before, but then we made it official.
Wait, how old was he when you were 18?
23. I was 18 for a total of 12 days before we started dating, and we were talking all that time. So, up to that point, I didn't think it was weird at first, but
I feel like as a 23-year-old man, an 18-year-old girl, you should not.
Well, me at my age, and I'm only 2 years older, or technically 3 years older than an 18-year-old, I would never date an 18-year-old.
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't know if girls are just different or what.
I think maybe it is, because I don't think girls really like younger guys that much. I mean, some do. Like, some have that interest, but, I don't know. Men do that, too. Obviously, men date younger girls, but I feel like when men date younger girls, it's when they're, like, 50 and they're dating, like a 43-year-old.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, what was also weird is that at the time we worked in fast food, and he would literally flirt with all the girls there, and I didn't even see it, okay? I literally didn't even. But I would also be like, why is she flirting with you? Like, that's a little weird. Like, she's 15.
Yeah, that is weird.
It was like 15, like 15-year-olds. Like, weird. Weirdo.
I was probably like one friend away from never meeting my ex, which, I mean, whatever, like, it is what it is. Like, that's the reason that I'm in the spot that I am right now. Like, there's no way I would have, literally, there's absolutely no way I would have ever met my boyfriend if it wasn't for being with my ex. But at the same time, it's just like, and the friend that I met him through, like, wasn't even like we weren't even like that close. So it's like, if I really just, or like if I just didn't go that day to hang out,
Yeah.
Because the only reason we all started hanging out as a friend group was because
But like also like if you never like actually though if you never dated him like you might have never ever met Ashton.
no, because I met Ashton at my job, and I would not have worked at my job if it wasn't for
Exactly.
him because his brother worked there
Well,
because of
everything
us.
everything good comes out of something bad, I feel like
Yeah,
eventually.
like I would never go back and change it. I mean, I no, there's nothing I could. I mean, I would leave earlier, but then still, I feel like then I wouldn't be in this position. So
Mhm. Yeah, I left like 4 times.
I never did.
I left 4
You know
times.
what though? It's crazy though because I wanted to break up with him so many times, and I hate this, but I am the type of person to be like I would threaten to break up with him, hoping he would like change, but then I would never do it, and then it would just get worse again, and I wouldn't do anything about it, and then eventually, I think he just found somebody else. Actually, I knew that he did, and then he broke up with me. I should have just called it that. Nope. I'm like, please, 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 like
Please,
I was like, please
please,
do not break up
please.
with me, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And then we got back together like literally a month ago. Guess when though? Right before Christmas. And you know what he wanted? A PS5. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so sorry. I always like before me and him started dating, I always asked the universe for like signs, okay? It was weird. Like I was a very like spiritual like manifestation person like at the time, which I don't really do that anymore, like manifest just because I feel I
I
don't know.
do.
I
In my
feel
head.
like no, yeah, no. I feel like I do that too. I just don't do it out loud
Yeah.
anymore. I feel like I did that before, but I would always ask for signs. And I hadn't done I didn't do it that entire relationship. And for some reason, it gave me like the biggest sign because the day we broke up was literally on the eclipse. The day of the eclipse. And I was like, okay, this is the biggest sign I have literally ever had in my life. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to go back. And have not gone back. And it's almost been a year actually in April.
I used to watch so when me and my ex like officially broke up, like the very last time, um, it was when TikTok was trending with videos that were like watch this and close your eyes and say what you want to say to whoever you want to say it to, and they'll reach out to you in 3 hours or like tomorrow. And I'm doing it every time. I'm like, this is gonna work. Because we went no contact. It didn't work. And then I just started like crashing out, and I was like blowing up his phone. I was a terrible ex girlfriend. I'm not bad now, obviously. I don't talk to him. But
As you should.
for as in fresh breakup, I was a terrible, terrible, terrible ex girlfriend because I was like literally blowing up his phone. I'm like, please, please, please. But then
Please, please, please.
but then I found out that he was like already kind of like not committed. He doesn't even know what commitment is, but he was like committed to somebody else, and I was like, okay, like whatever. Then I'll just leave you alone because I don't want to be the one to get in the middle of that. But then there was also times where I thought he was like with somebody, or like they weren't like officially dating, but I thought that he was like with somebody. But then he was like he would text me and be like something that just doesn't like you shouldn't say to your ex if you're talking to someone. So I would just get confused, and I'm like, okay, like you want to get back together, or are you like what are you like what's going on? And then he was like, yeah, I do. And I was just like, I don't know, but aren't you like talking to someone? And then like the next day he'd
Oh
be
my
like,
gosh.
never mind, I want to be with her. And I was like, okay,
Bro is like
okay.
bipolar.
He was literally switching back and forth for like a whole month, and I was just like, okay. And then me and his now girlfriend, which was the girl at this time, we've talked about it, and just like, well, one, I don't know if this is even what girls do. I was like literally, my heart was in my stomach when this happened, but she texted me and was all like, just saying stuff like not calling me a homewrecker, but kind of calling me a homewrecker. And I'm like, I literally didn't even know you existed. I don't know what's going on. Like this is not my fault. I didn't know about you. This is his fault because he knows about both of us, whatever. And she was like, do you want to meet up and talk? And I was like, I guess, but I was so scared. And then we met up and talked, and I told her everything. And well, I told her everything that like here's like a warning, but like do what you want to do. And then tell me why she was sitting there telling me, "Oh yeah, he cheated on you with this person at this time." And I'm like, "Okay, so he told you he cheated on you with this person and you want to be with him?"
That's what I'm saying. Like, what?
But anyways, I was like, "Okay." So now they have their little family. I don't know.
Ew.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but now it's completely none of my business, and I don't care. So
My ex, our problem started after a year. Okay, this is so messed up. Okay, I'm gonna start off actually. I'm not gonna say the real word. I'm just gonna say corn instead of, I feel like most people will understand that.
yeah,
Um, I have a boundary in relationships where I do not like my significant other to watch corn, and because it makes me feel bad about myself. I don't know. It's
a
just
lot of
like,
women are like that though.
yeah, and I don't feel like I should feel bad about that. Everyone has their own boundaries, and if you can't accept that, then they're not the right person for you. But I very well like explained this boundary, okay? One day I was getting off of work. I was already off work. I was on my way home and he wasn't responding to me. I was like, that's kind of weird. And so when I got home, he was he was about to get in the shower and I see his iPad and I'm like, why is his iPad in the bathroom with him? That's really weird. And so our closet was in the bathroom, if that makes sense. I don't know. And I'm literally just changing and he goes in the room real quick and I'm like, what is he doing? And so of course the iPad's gone. I'm like, where did he put that? I already knew. I already knew something was going on. And of course he hides it. And I'm over there trying like he's in the shower at this point. I get out, I changed, I got out of the freaking bathroom and I'm searching so hard for this iPad and as soon as I find it, bro, I open. Okay, so it's iPad where it's not like just a regular case, it's like the flip or whatever. I open that thing up and there's like, you know what, all over the screen. And I'm like,
I don't think they know. Is it him or is it other people?
no, it's his, like,
Okay,
his,
it's pictures
his,
of his junk.
no, no,
Oh,
it's not pictures.
oh, see,
That's a
see,
different
see,
story.
that's what I would have interpreted watching this. So you might have to be
Oh,
a little more
it's like,
specific. It's his reproduction uh
it's
factor.
it's like his what, like, whenever you're done, like what comes out. I'll just say it like that.
It's
No.
his slime.
Yeah. No, that's like good. It was his slime. And of course I'm so mad. I take the iPad. Honestly, I don't know. It probably got everywhere. But I literally opened that door so fast. I'm like, what the F is this? What is this? Why did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. And mind you, he did this 5 minutes before I came home. Like, bro, couldn't wait. Like,
You
what?
couldn't clean off your iPad, bro? That's disgusting.
But yeah, and then a couple days later, I made him give me all of his information to all of his stuff, and I logged into it one day when he was on the way to work, and at the time his work was like 40 minutes away, and I had the biggest gut feeling, like such a bad feeling, and like I've never had that bad of a feeling in a relationship before. And I was like, I need to check his iPad, and I woke up so early. Like
Did you ever wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, I have to check his phone?
no, but he also never wanted. He never had his phone by me. It was always on the opposite side. If he woke up and it was on my side, he would when he woke up, he would move it to the other side. So I could not. So,
That's disgusting.
yeah. But I found him talking to a girl, talking to her sexually. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't really need to go into it. But I also did find videos of him jerking it. I'll just say that. Um
But he didn't send to her.
no, and I'm like,
So,
who'd you send those to, bro? Who'd you send those to? He'd be like, nobody. Like, I forgot to delete it, is what he said.
me personally, I cannot see a man recording himself for himself
But you know what's
or
funny
for
about
fun.
that? After I found that, mind you, he was at the bar, okay? That's another issue. He always went to the bar with girls. Okay, only girls.
And she's not 21 yet, so.
I wasn't 21. He'd be like, oh, you can come. Okay.
And how am I supposed to get in? Are you gonna leave me at the door, my boy?
No, literally. But like, also, it's funny because after I found that and he said, oh, I forgot to delete it, I won't do it anymore, I found more videos. And I just never said anything about it because I was just so mad and I knew nothing I said would like fix it. Like, he would still do it.
Yeah.
You want to hear a really fun story? I don't know if I ever told you this.
You probably did. We've been friends a long time.
I know. But also at the time of this, I was like kind of iffy on what I should say to people. But there's this one time when we were at like trivia and he was like, "Oh, can I go to the bar with like two girls?" And I'm like,
like, were you in front of them? Like, he asked you in front of them?
kind of, yeah.
Ugh.
I know.
Because then you don't want to be the controlling
I know.
girlfriend.
I was like,
no.
Well, I kind of whispered. I was like, I don't feel comfortable. And he got mad. And so we are getting the car on the way home. And he's silent the entire time. I'm trying to talk to him. Silent. I'm like, what is bro doing? Like, for real. And so we get home. He opens the door and slams it shut. And I'm like, I get out the car. I said, excuse me? I was like, what is your problem? He was like, I want to go to the bar with my friends and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, I'll find something to do. I don't know. I didn't have my keys on me. I only had my phone. And so he goes upstairs. And I'm just standing there, like, trying to process it. And when I go upstairs, he locked me out. He locked me out of the apartment.
And you didn't have your keys or
No.
anything? How were you supposed to go home?
Well,
did you blow up his phone?
No, I said, you really effing locked me out and blah, blah, whatever.
I would have called the cops.
Well,
he stole my car keys.
Well, and then so at the time my mom lived like right behind us, so it was like a 6-minute walk or so. And I start walking. I start walking to my mom's. And mind you, he has my location. And so I'm like halfway to my mom's and
he comes and gets you?
He's running after me, bro. He's running. Like, I'm like,
like, bro, you literally loved. Yeah.
And like, he was like, I didn't know you were coming up. And I was like, where the freak do you think I was supposed to go? I don't got my car, bro. What do you mean? And
you literally have my keys, dude.
And so obviously we start arguing and stuff. And I'm like, this is like I was so furious that I don't remember half of the stuff that was said. But the one thing I remember so vividly is I told him, I said, you shouldn't be doing things when I'm uncomfortable with them. And his exact words will always remain in my brain. He said, even if you're uncomfortable with me doing something, I should still be able to do it. His exact words. And I held that against him. Okay, I did.
No, because like in a relationship, like, why are you even in a relationship with somebody if you are not willing to work with their what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
I know what you're
comfortabilities. I don't know. Like,
but you know what's funny is he would like make it seem like I'm the one doing that, like not working with him.
But he's also like, why do you need to go to the bar every single week? Like, was it every Tuesday night or something?
It was 2 nights a week, and it was always with just girls. And also, last year on her birthday, I came over. I was bawling my eyes out though because we were having a good time, and then he was like, "Oh,
I don't know if it was my birthday.
It was.
I don't know
because I was supposed to spend the night.
But when Garrett came to visit,
he wasn't there that night.
But when Garrett came to visit recently, and I was like, "Oh, Macy's coming over," he said, "Is that the one that was crying?" So I thought that's when that happened.
That was probably another night where I was crying too because he was always putting me in a position like that.
Was it 4th of
No.
Because
he came around Mother's Day, I thought.
Yeah, he came on Mother's Day. Or was here for Mother's Day. I don't remember exactly. So, I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know. But I remember I was having a good time, and then he was like, oh, these 2 girls. No guys at all. This girl and this girl invited me to a bar up in Indy. And I'm like, you're not going to go, are you? I don't feel comfortable with that.
That's even worse than like your like local bars down there.
Yeah.
Going downtown to a bar.
And obviously he didn't, even if he asks me to do something like that, he still went no matter what I said, so whatever. But I was supposed to spend the night. And of course, I'm not drinking. I'm not doing any. Oh,
It's okay.
okay.
We're adults.
So I didn't even spend the night because it literally ruined the entire night for me, and I felt so bad. But I mean, I had to go home because I was afraid he was going to bring a girl home.
Yeah.
And I should not have to worry
and
about
like
that.
I had absolute I remember that because I remember Alicia was here and we were playing flip cup or something and you guys were like arguing about the rules.
No, it was beer pong.
No, it was flip cup. It was, I don't know, whatever it was though. She was like,
no, because
it's house
remember,
rules, and I'm like, I don't care.
No, it was beer pong because remember he kept throwing it so hard. I said you can't, like, that's not how you play beer pong.
To knock the cup off. Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't even play beer pong like that, but like, I didn't know that. Like, ever since I started hanging out with my boyfriend and his friends, there are so many rules I've just never heard of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they make them up or if this is like legit. But like if there's like one or two cups left, they'll like take the ball and like launch it to knock the cup off. And I'm just like, okay, that's, you guys first of all ruined my pants. But second of all, I've never heard of that before.
You got my feet wet.
And then well then it just makes a huge mess because everyone's trying to knock it off. And then it's just like unnecessary rules. Like, can we please just throw the ball back and forth? When my ex found out that I had a new boyfriend,
oh my gosh,
and I was over here at my boyfriend's house and we were hanging out and he like texted me on like Facebook Messenger and I don't even remember what he said, but he said something and I was just like, leave me alone, I'm at my man's or something. And he's like, where does he live? I'll pull up right now. I'm like, you really think I'm gonna tell you where he lives? And he was like, I'll just find out. And I was like, okay, come find us. Because like based on where we're at right now, living in Greenwood or wherever,
you would
never find me here.
No, literally.
He probably could now, just because his girlfriend is friends with someone that I'm friends with who knows the area in which she knows like a 2-minute radius from here, but she doesn't know exactly where.
Still though, I feel like
but yeah.
Also, that would be crazy work.
That would be crazy work. But she didn't know that until like 2 months ago. Like, she didn't know that. Oh. So, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyways, he's like, I'll find out. And I'm like, okay. I'll see you in a couple years because there's absolutely no way you're finding me.
In a couple years.
So weird. I don't even know. There was... Okay, so we lived together for... the majority of our relationship.
I was going to say, dang near the whole thing.
Literally the majority. And first of all, bro never kept a job. So I was paying mine and his half of rent. But on top of not having a job, he wasn't doing dishes, he wasn't doing laundry, he wasn't cleaning the room, he wasn't cleaning anything. And I'm like, okay. Well, and my sister lived with us too. So I'm like, I feel so bad for my sister because I'm like, I'm so sorry that he's like not helping. But then I'm working and I'm in school. Like, I could find time to like do the dishes. But with him being the way that he is, like a boy, he would play video games all night and stuff and just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and it's like dirty dishes, dirty dishes, dirty dishes. And so then the dishes in the kitchen would like pile up, and me and my sister are like, I'm not doing those, like I didn't dirty them, so I'm not doing them. And he's like, well, I'm not doing them. And I'm like, okay, well. So I think my sister always fell victim to doing the dishes. But
I feel like whenever someone works all day or goes to school all day,
or both,
or that's what I mean, like they should not have to clean up after someone else.
Yeah, like if it was my dishes, that's one thing.
Wasn't he there all day long?
All day, because he didn't have a job. He would just be there. And he didn't have a car because I had my car. So,
and he would steal it.
He literally would gaslight me into like skipping work or skipping school or something just so he could use my car. Or let's not even talk about the times that his friends like asked him to hang out, which I was friends with most of his friends, and they would ask him to hang out, and he'd be like, hey, can I go hang out with them? And I'm like, are they gonna come get you? He's like, no, can I use your car? And I'm like, then what am I supposed to do? Like, you want me to sit at home while you're out like having fun? Like, I can't even go hang out with my friends because I don't have my car. He's like, well, they can come here. I'm like, this place is disgusting. Like, go do the dishes and then you can take my car. Like, are you literally kidding me? But also, like, the way that he drove was so reckless that if he had wrecked my car, not being on my insurance, not only would that screw me, but my grandpa, who bought the car for me and pays the insurance, would kill me. He cut off my muffler with a saw or whatever. He was like begging me. He's like, please, can we cut it off? I drove a Ford Focus. I'm like, this car is not cool enough to have the muffler cut off. He's like, no, it'll sound so cool. And I'm like, no, it won't. He's like, please, can I do it? And I'm like, dude, no. Like, this is my car. And plus, my graduation party's in like 3 days. And if my grandpa shows up and hears my car sounding like this, I'm dead. And he does it anyways. And I was like, okay, well, now you're going to pay to get it welded back on. Guess who paid for it to get it welded back on? Me. Literally the next day, I'm like, you literally cut my muffler off for me to spend my money to get it welded back on. It was so stupid. I'm like, I'm a freaking girl. I'm a girl in a red Ford Focus, and you want me to cut my muffler off? This is embarrassing, actually. It's not even cool. And then my sister moved out because she got married. And then, he
Good for her, though.
Moves in his other friend. I'm like, are you joking?
Again, with no job.
No, he had a job.
Oh.
But they had another friend who moved in. Who slept on the couch.
That's the one
who didn't have a job.
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of then.
No, his roommate Loki helped so much with the rent and stuff, and he actually helped like with cleaning a little bit. Like, I low-key respected him so much. But since them two were together, they'd have people over and stuff, and they would drink and all that in my apartment.
Yep.
But I wasn't allowed to drink. I was like,
that makes a lot of sense.
And then, so one of his friends' girlfriends was my friend, and she came over and they're all drinking, and I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna drink too. Like, my friend is here, she's drinking, I'm gonna drink. And so I took one sip of a drink, and he puts his drink down, goes and pouts on the couch, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's like, you're drinking. I'm like, so are you. So is everybody in my house.
I never understood why he got mad about that.
I don't know. You know what? I wish I would have. Well, he was like, you're going to be so annoying. I have to watch you. I have to take care of you. I'm like, well, I'm literally fine. Like, it's a freaking seltzer. Like, I'm not over here shot. Oh my god, it's so annoying. I was like, okay.
It's just so confusing.
It's just like, first of all, you're not the freaking boss of me.
Can you have one of those things?
Yeah. I share. I got 2 packs of them.
Oh my gosh. I haven't had these since I worked.
I love these.
At the old.
I'm gonna wait till I finish my sentence.
Optometrist office.
Old one? Oh, a long time ago.
It was like a year and 3/4.
I'll take one bite.
He cheated on her with a girl we went to school with. And she's known to sleep around. I'll just say that.
I never liked her. And if you're watching this and if you know it's you.
I used to be friends with her. I think, honestly, no, I might have, wait, I might have hung out with her while he cheated on you. With her.
Really? Well, he didn't cheat on me with her by, like, flirting, like, they slept together.
Yeah.
That's it, I think. I don't think they were, like, flirting or texting or anything.
Do you know around what time it was?
January.
No, I mean, like, was it still, like, were we in high school?
It was 2023, January.
Okay, never mind then.
My girl Brie had Tinder. I didn't, because I had a boyfriend, right? She's, like, engaged now, so she doesn't have Tinder anymore. But when she did, a long time ago, she found him on there and sends me a screenshot, and she's like, hey, like, I don't mean to intrude, blah, 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 but I found your boyfriend on Tinder. And I was like, scrolling through the pictures. I'm, like, freaking out. I'm, like, having a whole panic attack. That's Hunter's mom.
What the heck?
Why does she have me on Snapchat? I was, like, literally freaking out, like, looking through this stuff, and then I was like, that has to be old. Like, the pictures are old. And I texted her, and I'm like, no, that's old. And she's like, no, Tinder like only shows your profile if you've been active within the last 7 days. And I'm like, I don't think so. But I never had Tinder before, so I didn't know. And I'm like, no, he's no.
Well, at this point, you'd never had a dating app, literally ever.
Yeah. Sounds like Yubo during COVID.
That don't count. That don't count.
During COVID.
I think we all did, honestly.
Well, then a couple months later, she sends me it again. And I'm like, girl, mind your own business. It's old. And then I think one of the pictures was a little bit recent. But I can't remember if we had like broken up and then he was like, that was from when we broke up or something. And I'm like, okay, well, freaking delete your profile or something. I don't know. Anyways, no, yeah, he was on it the whole time. And I feel so bad because I was really being mean to my friend. I was like really being like, I didn't tell her like mind your own business, but in my head I was like, dude, like please stop sending me this stuff. It's making me crash out. Oh my gosh. Also, he wouldn't let me have any of his passwords or anything. How did that just happen? I didn't have any. Okay, when we first started dating, I did have his password and stuff just because like he wasn't cheating on me. Well, then I did start getting to a point where I was looking like checking his phone. I don't like check my boyfriend's phone now or anything. I don't care because I know he's not cheating on me. But I knew, I had a feeling. I never actually caught him. I never ever ever caught him. Only because he wouldn't let me. But I definitely like I knew he was cheating. I just never had proof. But there was multiple times where I would check his phone and I'm like, who's this girl? Blah 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 and da da da. I never found any like text messages or anything because he would like delete his stuff and I just never looked hard enough because I didn't want to find anything. There was one night I woke up, or one morning I woke up right before I was leaving for like a trip out of state, and I went through his phone, and there was messages, with this girl. I don't know who it was, but he had sent her a picture of him flexing in the mirror, and she was like, "Oh my god, you're so hot," and then something, and he was like, "No, you, whatever." Oh, blah blah blah. I felt sick. First of all, I was like, that's a really weird picture to send a girl. Like, I really thought you were gonna send something else, but you send you flexing in the mirror, and he was like not even like built. Like he was like really not like if he flexed, I guess he had like a little something little, but he wasn't like built.
Bro was a twig,
and he wasn't even shirtless in the picture either. I'm like, okay, so okay. Anyways, whatever. And I woke him up at like 5 a.m. I'm like, what is this? Well, okay. I slid out of it, got off his phone, and I was just going to pack up and leave, go out of state. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to wake him up. So I woke him up and I'm like, who's whatever her name was? He's like, huh? I'm like, this girl, you sent her a picture of you in the mirror and she said this and you said this and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, did you even check the date? That was so long ago. And I'm like, I didn't check the date. But still. He's like, that was when we were broken up. And I'm like, still, that's disgusting. We were only broken up for a month. So, like, we broke up in, like, what, a week or two later? You were, like, already snapping, like, a million people. We dated for so long, and you're already, like, texting other girls. Okay, weird. But, yeah, I never caught him. A couple people did, like, text me and tell me, and I just never believed them. But, whatever. We broke up a couple months later when I finally moved on. He's like, I'm so sorry for... He's never admitted to cheating on me, but I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like, I'm so sorry for treating you the way that I did. I wish I could go back and change it. And I'm like, oh, just one time when I was gonna catch him, we were in the car and he was on his phone like this on Snapchat, and I'm like, let me see your Snapchat, and he's like, no, and I'm like, ew, okay, you're hiding something. Like, show me your Snapchat. And he's like, no, it's my privacy. I'm like, bro, let me see your Snapchat. Like, I'm not even asking you to show me any messages. I just want to see like your main Snapchat. And he's like, okay, one sec. Goes through, clears chats, and then shows me. I'm like, okay, now go on your, like, let me see your phone, then I want to see something. And he's like, no, because I was going to do this to see like recent. But I'm like, I'm trying to, like, I know tricks and all kinds of stuff now. And he doesn't find the recent. Yeah, but he doesn't know that that's what I'm trying to do, but he won't let me do it. And I'm like, okay, you're basically admitting it now. Like, I'm your girlfriend. You're not even, like, letting me see your Snapchat. That's crazy. That's literally crazy. There was also one time we were like hanging out, like doing something, I don't even remember, and he got a Snapchat or something, and I'm right next to him, but he saw it and like immediately pulled his phone to him, and I'm like, ew, like who was
Yeah.
that? And he's like, oh, it's just my friend, and I'm like, okay, which one? And he told me one of his guy friends' names. And I'm like, you're lying because you wouldn't have hid your phone like that for just your friend. Like, you know, I don't care about your stupid friend. And he's like, no, it was him. And I'm like, you're lying.
You know what's so funny? My ex did the same thing.
I'm like,
Well, kind of like the same thing.
and then he was all like, eventually I was like, it's okay, then I'm going to ask him or something, or I don't even know. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And he's like, okay, fine. Or at first he was saying it's nobody, it's nobody, it's nobody. And then he's like, okay, fine, it's Andrew. And I'm like, no, it's not, because you would not have freaked out that much for just your friend.
He had to think hard about it first.
And then I keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And he's like, okay, fine, it's this girl, named whatever her name is. But we went to school together, and well, like we're just friends or whatever. And I'm like, if that's the case, then why were you being so weird? Like, I'm not the type of person to freak out if you give me a good explanation not to. If he would have just sat there and told me, it's my friend, we used to go to school together, literally nothing going on, I'd be like, period, thanks. But the fact that he went through all those obstacles, even just tell me who it was, automatic red flag. So then I looked her up on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. He has a weird taste. I don't know how he ended up with me. I'm not talking myself up like I'm this big shot, hot shot girl, but and his new girlfriend's pretty, but like when he cheats, he chooses like the
Opposite.
ugliest people. Like, really? You cheated on me with her? Sorry, what?
I found out that my ex slept with the girl I was worried about like literally the week after.
Men are so stupid.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to our ex stories.
We have so much more, but we'll save you the trouble of hearing about our drama for now.
Until next time.
Until next time.